You mentioned the California Coastal Commission. What does that add to the process?
So that's a really interesting one. From what we've seen working on homes in the coastal region is if the property is subject to the California Coastal Act, which kind of a general rule of thumb is 1,000 yards inland from the coast. That's a very, very, very general way to describe it. There's kind of more nuanced definitions of it as you move up and down the coast, and depending upon the area or municipality jurisdiction that you're working in. But the 1,000 yards inland, if your property's in that area, it's going to be subject to the California Coastal Act. If it's subject to the California Coastal Act, that's, in our mind as the architect, we're immediately adding, right now, probably 1 year onto our schedule for the project, because it has to go through a series of design reviews. It has to be reviewed by the California Coastal Commission. And if you're an investor and you have two pieces of property along the coast, let's just say in a theoretical situation, one which is not subject to the California Coastal Act and one which is, I would definitely, as an architect, you want to advise your client, and working with the realtor, to go with the property which is not in the coastal zone.
So would you recommend having a brief meeting with an architect prior to even purchasing a property?
Absolutely.
Especially if it's a coastal property.
Absolutely, yeah. And if it's the more, I think, or the larger scope of the project that you're trying to pursue, I think the need to engage an architect early in the process increases.